so many people, the image of Doria sitting in quiet dignity at the royal wedding, I think to myself, what in the world could have prepared her for this moment? But then I realized it's exactly what prepares most strong black women. It's a lifetime of adversity, a lifetime of having to prove yourself in a world that tries to marginalize your existence, that tries to downplay your struggle, a world that so many strong black women have known throughout the history of this country. In the New Yorker magazine, it mentions that the relationship between Meghan and her mother is close. The article quotes Meghan as saying their relationship as being an us against the world. Meghan paid for her mother to attend graduate school when she became wealthy. On Meghan's blog, she is quoted as saying, in a Mother's Day post, "There's no imitation of life drama," referring to a film in which a light-skinned daughter that has been passing for white shuns her dark-skinned mother. Doria Ragland was born in Cleveland, Ohio, to a nurse, Janet Arnold, and her second husband, Alvin Azel Ragland, an antiques dealer who sold items at a flea market. Ragland's maternal grandparents, James and Nettie Arnold, respectively worked as a bellhop and as an elevator operator at a whites-only hotel, St. Regis on Euclid Avenue in Cleveland. Her parents moved to Los Angeles when Ragland was just a baby and later divorced in 1983. Ragland worked as a makeup artist and met her future husband, Thomas Marco, while employed on the set of a television show. She earned a master's degree in social work from the University of Southern California. After passing California's licensing exam in 2015, she was a social worker for 3 years at the D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services Clinic in Culver City. Ragland has also worked as a yoga instructor. In 2017, there was an article in Glamour magazine. They were speaking to that amazing actress from Suits, Meghan Markle. She had a list of 10 women, which included people like Madeleine Albright, Toni Morrison, and a woman who probably changed her life, Bonnie Hamer, chairman of NBC Universal Group Cable Entertainment. She's the one responsible for a colorblind casting that made a character like Rachel Zane possible. In that article, she does a list of 10 women, and at the end of the list, number 10, and probably her favorite and mine and yours, Doria Ragland. My mother, she says, Doria Ragland. In the article, she says, my mom's a yoga instructor, but she does social work as well, and she works specifically with the geriatric community. For me to watch this level of lifelong sensitivity and nurturing and caregiving, but at the same time, my mom has always been a free spirit. She's got dreadlocks and a nose ring. She just ran the Los Angeles Marathon. We can just have so much fun together, and yet I'll still find so much solace in her support. That duality coexists the same way it would in a best friend. At one time, Meghan wrote, and there was my mom, caramel in complexion, with light skin, baby in tow, being asked where my mother was since they assumed she was the nanny, she wrote. She also wrote of a time when someone called her mother the N-word. We were leaving a concert and she wasn't pulling out of the parking space quick enough for another driver. Meghan said the long drive home was one of silence, only interrupted when she said to her mother softly, "It's okay, Mom." Her mother's hands gripping the steering wheel, her knuckles white. And in her former blog, The Tig, Meghan reportedly wrote an ode to mother. Dreadlocks, nose ring, yoga instructor, social worker, free spirit, lover of potato chips and lemon tarts. And if the DJ cues Al Green, call me, just forget it. She will swivel her hips into the sweetest little dance you've ever seen, swaying her head and snapping her fingers to the beat like she's been dancing since in the womb. And you will smile. You won't be able to help it. You will look at her and you will feel joy. I'm talking about my mom. Ragland has apparently also found a huge fan in Prince Harry, who describes her as simply amazing in a BBC interview. There's a huge contrast between the way the Ragland side of the Meghan's family has behaved in the past 3 years compared to the other side of her family. The one thing that we can count on was the quiet dignity from Doria Ragland. It was very difficult for me to try to celebrate Mother's Day and to try to learn and inform without being just another person to exploit Meghan and her mother's relationship. So I have used some photos, and full disclosure, some of the photos may have been sourced from the mainstream media and even from Meghan's family, Doria's family members. But I'm not using them to be malicious, and I'm not using them in any way to exploit their relationship, but just as a way to attempt to share their story, and of course for us to have a bit of a window into that part of Meghan's life without digging too deep. So some things about Doria probably should remain a mystery. Greatest respect for Doria Ragland. I have the greatest respect for Meghan Markle, and I have equally as great a respect for the entire Ragland family. With the exception of sharing photos, there has not been any exploitation on the Ragland side of the family that I'm aware of. I mentioned that once and someone said, oh, well, what about, I'm like, that person spoke glowingly of Meghan. If that was exploitation, please exploit me. So I guess in closing, I'm going to just say, let's not dig too deep. Let's just allow them the room to be mother and daughter. It's really not that important that we know what someone eats for lunch or where they walk their dogs. The thing that we know about Meghan is that she's a very strong, intelligent person, and obviously the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. And so with that, happy Mother's Day to Meghan, happy Mother's Day to Doria, happy Mother's Day to everyone, and I do mean everyone, who has shown so much support to this channel. Despite everything that happened in the last few years, Doria has been a constant in Meghan's life from the very beginning, and she has become a constant in Prince Harry's life, and her beautiful grandson, and the beautiful granddaughter this coming early summer. But I'll share a poem with you. A few things your mom may not have told you. She loves you more than herself. She has watched you while you were asleep. Every time you're upset, her heart sinks. You make her life meaningful. She would give you her last dollar. You inspire her and give her hope. She smiles knowing you are her child. You could never disappoint her. She thinks you are 1 in a million. You're the best thing that has ever happened to her. Happy Mother's Day.
Mama, I love you, Mama. Happy Mother's Day to you. thank God for you. Mama, I love you, Mama. Happy Mother's Day to you. You're the best mom in the world, and I thank God for you. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.